you so much for staying tuned to this channel. Welcome to another edition of Africa Discourse. I am Wilson of Marshall. Today is all about effective opposition in Africa politics, changing the narrative. You get to hear about opposition leaders, opposition party, but the big question now is how effective are these parties or these personalities? That they're opposing the government of the day for their own selfish interests, or is it about the interest of the people? Is it about social, cultural, economic, political development of these countries in Africa? Or are they just there to line the account? That's a question on the lips of everyone. Taking a kind of a retrospective to what happened in Tanzania, where a very strong and vibrant opposition leader, Freeman Mbowe, was released. They would have been talking about it, that man is really a man to reckon with in Tanzania. Don't forget also about Raila Odinga, a strong opposition also to Uhuru Kenyatta in Kenya. Today they are pals, the next they are like, miles apart. What are the factors behind the agreement and of course the disagreement? Remember Kenneth Kaunda, yes, the author of Zambia Shall Be Free, when he was given the opportunity to become the president, what was the story? Of course, late Robert Mugabe also was one time a very, very strong personality when you talk about the emancipation of Zimbabwe. We all know how that story panned out. So many people talking about opposition and how effective they really are in Africa. Today, the story is still very much on the ground. With me here in the studio to talk about this, I have a politician, an entrepreneur, a very top leader of a particular political party in Edo State, Nigeria. Join me to welcome Honorable Gentleman Amigo. Welcome to Africa Discourse.
Thank you.
I appreciate your coming. All right, and I have someone also in the academia. He is a political analyst. Join me to welcome Professor Anthony Ijewere. Welcome to Africa Discourse, Prof.
It's a great pleasure to be here.
All right. Well, this other person I really want to introduce, yes, is into politics, and of course, I've been following lineage of governors in Edo State. Join me to welcome Samuel Ogbemudia Jr., a politician, a vibrant political analyst. Welcome to Africa Discourse.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, ITV.
All right.
Thank you, viewers.
We've heard a lot about opposition in African countries, Nigeria not exempted. We've seen retinues of opposition leaders that came in via, this mindset of activism. You get to hear them saying they're in here for the people, but somewhere along the line, towards this particular period, is like the activities of opposition leaders and parties, so to speak. Some are saying it's dwindling, others are saying it isn't dwindling. It's because some are losing focus on what opposition is really. We'll talk about opposition in politics. Let me start off from you, Honorable Gentleman Amigo. What do you feel about this?
Well, thank you. I'm happy that in your introductory speech you said you narrowed everything to Africa. I'm happy to hear that because I have always said that there is something fundamentally wrong with the black skin in terms of administration. This has been our problem. But when you choose a black man as president and somebody wants to come and it becomes a payback time for opposition to come into power. Oh, when he was there, he denied my family of this, he denied my tribe people of that. Now that I'm there, it's going to be a payback time. That's been the problem because narrow-minded politicians, they think of how to pay back, not how to develop their country, not how to develop your community. That's why you are citing examples. Look at all of them you have cited. Look at Zimbabwe, for example. So when Mugabe came into power, it was not to improve on the standard of Zimbabwe, but to pay back to his former presidents. Even here in Africa, here in Nigeria, sorry, the same thing. Jonathan was there. Well, the minister said at that time, oh, Jonathan will sleep with Nigeria, will wake up with Nigeria. And then the opposition came, Buhari. You know how much we're selling bag of rice? You know how much we were selling petrol when Jonathan was there? And people were demonstrating they were going to kill Jonathan. Everybody was on the street. And in fact, that gave birth to Enstance. Now, Buhari has come, he's in my party, yes. But you know as much as I know. You know what the bag of rice is now. Never mind. The dollar is sliding. Dollar was 180 something when Jonathan was there.
I was still shouting that time.
Now it's almost 600. So when the opposition comes to power, they are not willing to come and tell the people, this is what I can do. It's to come and pay back what the other man did. So if not that fundamentally something is wrong with the black man, they will not be taken like that. I just cite an example. Look at what is happening in Ukraine today. Have you ever imagined yourself that kind of love? Love. They wake up in love, they work their days in love, and they go back to bed in love. Love themselves, love their country. But there's no African country that can exhibit that kind of love. Never mind, they might be defeated in war, but they won't win the war. So that's the kind of love. In Africa, we are not. We are not ready to develop. We are ready to. You can become a target now. If you don't give me good interview, when we get out, I'll be targeting you.
Very unfortunate, but please don't target me, please.
That's why I'm saying that there's something fundamentally wrong to the black skin. It doesn't matter we are doctors, it doesn't matter we are engineers, but basically there's something wrong with you. Okay. When somebody does anything to you, you don't want to forgive. And unforgiveness is a load on anybody's side. So let Africans wake up. Let them know that the purpose of choosing, those which is to say they are our servants, but they are our masters.
We'll get to that point. We'll get to that point. Just so honorable, we'll get to that point. Yeah. Well, Prof, you heard him. He said what's fundamentally wrong with Africans. We'll talk about administration, talk about politics. You see an opposition member talking about freedom for the people. Of a sudden, he gets to that particular position. What you expected of them to do is not what they do most of the time according to reports and record. What is really the matter?
Well, I would like to take it from a fundamental perspective. Fundamental perspective in the sense that who are the characters involved in our politics in Africa? Who are the characters involved? I don't want to generalize. Otherwise, in most cases, like my highly respected friend said, you know, if you look at the characters, you go by the characters involved. You know, they play politics on the basis of politics a dirty game. Therefore, that mindset, you know, they go with that mindset. And so, if I cannot get it, then we better destroy it. You know, and so with that mindset, they go into politics, including even opposition people, you know, opposition parties or individuals, because we also have independent candidates. I think the president has just signed that into electoral law. So if you look at the characters involved, you know, they are not groomed in politics. You know, unlike abroad, he also studied in the US. Unlike abroad, you see that politicians are groomed right from secondary school, university, then before they will grow proper into politics. You know, and the antecedents are also monitored as they grow, you know, maturely into politics.
That's China politics.
Yes, you know, it's monitored. You know, so that if at the end of this, a candidate is now vying for office, in some of these developed countries, they look at statistics. Why was the school? What position was he occupying? While he was in school, was he a good politician? What is his antecedents? What did he achieve? You know, they will take all this into consideration before they say, yes, I think this candidate is going to be a good candidate. And it doesn't stop there. There's a kind of a debate, you know, about the candidates, about the politicians going for elective positions, a kind of debate, you know. So in the process of debate, they will now also find out who among these candidates that are going for political office is more current, is more versatile, you know, with the office is trying to go into. And because we have uneducated voters, you know, they X-ray that individual, they will look at the individual and say, oh, can this individual actually represent our interests, represent us, represent the high tax the former party is charging us, with the high cost of high foodstuff, unemployment, you know, the role of judiciary, are they be active and all that, how versatile is it in international relations and all that, and so they x-ray those because they have what? Educated voters who are looking at all that.
Yeah.
But if you come back to Africa, you know, there's no sequential development of politicians. You know, there's no sequential development. Therefore, it's like any person's game. Somebody can just leave a motor park and just come because he has made some money, you know, get his boys from motor park and say, hey, it's my turn, it's my turn. Any person that doesn't flow with me, then my boss, you know, my boss will deal with him and all that and all. So that is the trend. That is the wrong trend. And if you look at the whole of Africa, it's the similar thing that is going on. You know, that is why those examples you cited, some of us are not too surprised because you look at the background, you know, it's what we have in Africa is what I would call political rascals.
Political rascals.
Yes.
I'll come back to you with that. Political rascals. Okay. Samuel Junior, where you've heard them, do you share their thoughts and opinion about these opposition? Talk about the effectiveness in African politics.
Well, Idi Amin said a long time ago, he said, you have the freedom of speech, but your freedom is not guaranteed.
After speech.
Yes. And that matter still stands up to today. You see, the problem is that most chief executives, most VIPs, when in position of authority in Africa, they are always surrounded by a group of people, a clique. And within that clique, they cannot move from that clique. If they move from that clique, they will destroy them. So that very clique are the same people that control them. They are going out, they are coming in, even the underwear that they wear, the color of the underwear they wear. So if that clique does not like a particular person, especially if he's in opposition, they will convince the chief executive to make sure that they bring that person down. So the problem of Africa is petty, is personalized, and at the end of the day, we have to be more professional in our approach. That's why I think some time ago somebody said we need strong institutions, checks and balances. Judiciary is one, legislature is one. Then we have all these parastatals all over the country. Let us look at our situation in Nigeria. Can we say we have the best individuals running the parastatals, running the institutions in this country? No. What we have is a situation of a set of people, a group of people just controlling the affairs of this country. You know, so if we are to run our, let's say, our football sports teams like that, we'll just say, oh, so one group of people should be in goal, should be the center forward, this and that. And that will get the result. This is Nigeria. There are so many ethnic groups. There are so many states, local governments. Everybody should be carried along. And at the end of the day, if we cannot have teamwork amongst Nigerians, amongst Africans, the late Gaddafi said he wanted the United States of Africa. If we cannot have teamwork, we cannot get the result. So all this backbiting, say, oh, this man is APC, this man is PDP. No. This is Edo State. The head of state of Edo State is Governor Godwin Obaseki. And everybody must put hand behind him to move the state forward, because we have children, younger ones. And if you don't put hand behind him to move the state forward, nothing is going to work. We'll go back to square one.
All right. I will come back to you, bringing it down to, you know, way down home. But some are saying that opposition is a child of necessity.
Yes.
that if the leaders are doing well, there'll be no need for opposition to come out to say, hey, Mr. or hey, Mrs., you're not doing well. Head of state or Mr. President or Mr. Governor, you're not doing well. If really the governors or presidents are doing it. Take a look at the instance of this man that was released after spending about 200 days in prison. He came out to cry out that, look, the way you are running Tanzania is not good. Tanzania right now is over $6.6 billion indebted to China. He came out, he complained about it, saying the economy is down, and he was accused of being a terrorist and he was sent to jail. Do you think that opposition really suit this particular definition as a mother or child, rather, of necessity?
Well, that's what we are saying. When somebody is in government in Africa, it is a period for him to raise the standard of his family, raise the standard of his ethnic living. They are not really interested in moving their countries forward. Also, what that guy was saying, however right it is, the president said, look, you cannot say that. Because I'm developing my country, my area of birth, my roots. That's why you are speaking like that. Because you want to become the president. Give him the opportunity. He too will pay back. He will neglect the former leader's constituency and can't face his own constituency. We are not broad-minded. That is our problem. We are not broad-minded in Africa. And I don't know why. But the individuals are very brilliant, excellent human beings. Some individuals, they are taking over the whole world. You know what's happening in America. You know who founded the drone. And even we have Nigerians in the executive positions in America. We have them in the House of Parliament in London, Nigerians. Individually, they are wonderful. But when they come together to talk about how to raise the standard of their country, then you find that they become derelicts. It's unfortunate. That's what I thought. Look at Brutai when he was leaving the army. He said his security will remain with us for 20 years. He had to have been prison for that statement. Why do you say a thing like that? We need another 20 years to stop insecurity in the country. And then he became an ambassador for saying so. That's the kind of country we are in. How do we stop it? Maybe not in this generation. How do we stop opposition from not? Because if you are elected, everybody around your constituency will now vote for you if you are nominated. Will vote for you massively because our border is coming. If we are broad-minded, you will be thinking of opposition, you will be thinking of those in government. Look at what is happening now in Nigeria. Oh, we want it in the south. Oh, we want it in the north. I'm not an advocate of that. I'm an advocate of who is right to come and govern.
Exactly.
That's who I am. But a lot of us say, no, it's the turn of southeast, it's the turn of southwest, it's the turn of south-south. Who told you that? Is it an inheritance? Let somebody who is brilliant come on. Somebody who says excellent in character can come from the opposition. I'll cast the person, I'll give the person my vote. I'll try and I'll say it publicly. If I find a worthy opposition, I'll give him my certificate because I love this country so well. But throughout the continent of Africa, it is, he is from my tribe, he is from my language, I'm not going to let him go. How do we stop that? I don't know. I have no solution to how we are going to stop that. Maybe my other solution to that. All right. So that's where we are. All right. Very unfortunate.
Unfortunately, so some are saying that opposition nowadays, they are not that effective and efficient the way they used to be in the past.
That's right.
How true is this assertion, Prof?
Well, based on my previous earlier analysis, I think it is clear. We are looking at what are the quality of people, politicians? What is their quality? What is their background? You see, that is why to some extent, I think the House, the National House of Assembly are becoming very conscious about that. When they said for governorship position and the presidency, at least the individual should have a first degree. You know, and something led to that.
Yes.
You know, they are trying to refine the polity of the country. They are trying to refine the individual politicians, you know, because education itself is a discipline on its own. So, and the way an educated man looks at things is different from what the ordinary man will look at it, you know, because of that discipline that is involved. So it's believed that when you have enlightened people, they are more likely to look at politics differently, you know, differently. And never mind, I know some say, well, there are some politicians that are corrupt and who are educated that are corrupt. But don't forget that the politician that is educated is put at the center of the ring. And those surrounding him are mainly people who are not educated. So what do you expect? So they will dictate the tone. Right. You know, this is how we want you to go. Don't forget that we brought you in. We brought you in. And if you don't behave yourself, they're going to do with you. In fact, in our backyard, it happened last year. We don't want to be mentioning names, but it happened last year. You know, and at the end of the day, the gentleman said, hey, look at it, guys. Look, I'm a more refined human being. Yes. And why was he talking like that? If you like, you call it Governor Obaseki. Why was he talking like that? Because of his level of enlightenment. Yes. So he was looking at it differently. You know, gentlemen, this is not the time, there's no time again for sharing. The state is a project. And everybody had to key into that project. Right. You know, and in view of that, you know, people had no choice. They started queuing behind that policy of, hey, things have changed. We have a project and everybody must be focused to see how we can save Edo State. I think that's a quality opposition we are talking about. Right. So it's not just enough to say why is opposition. What do you call the indices are very clear. Okay. Why we have problem with opposition, yes, in this country and other part of Africa.
Someone said if you watch or observe some parts of Africa, many of the countries are on like what they call autopilot, in the sense that very few African countries are doing well. Very, very few. Let's say we have South Africa, of course they are trying. We have it also, despite the squabbles there, they're still trying a little bit.
No, South Africa is a mixture of black and white.
Good, no. Yes, okay, but you made a point there. But majorly speaking, many African countries, they are down. And the voice of the opposition, they've been silenced. I mean, what led to this? How come if one is at the hand of affairs, the first thing that person do is to trump up allegation against effective opposition in African countries? Take it up from there.
Well, for me, it's called the game of balance of power.
Balance of power.
Balance of power. It starts at the global level and it ends, it goes to the state level too. Local government level. Now, when I say balance of power, if you look at America, look at Russia, look at China, they're all struggling to be number one. So now, let's take it to the national level. PDP, APC struggled to be number one. APC became number one. So what happened? The first thing that was done was to go after the jugular of those who were in power before.
That's what I'm talking about, vengeance or revenge mission.
Yes. Those who were in power before say, oh, they did this, they did that. But one thing, they should never forget, they shouldn't forget that they will also leave power. And when they leave power, the people that come in will also go after their jugular. So we need to have a situation of strong institutions. South Africa, blacks and whites are there. That is probably, that's why I think they have strong institutions. The judiciary, you can go to the judiciary with anything, any allegation, and they take it up. That's not right. It's not everything judiciary should take up. You know, so strong institutions, and also the chief executive needs to be able to get up from his office, his seat, get up from his bed, go and check the books. How many AK-47 are they buying? How many bullets are they buying? Let's see the record. You can't just sit in your office and wait for somebody to come and tell you, oh, Your Excellency, this is how it is. No. Go and check. When you check yourself, you'll be able to find out whether the report they gave you is correct. So these are some of the things also. Leadership has a lot to do with it. Where you have vendetta, vengeance. If the chief executive can come out and say, let me find out about this guy, bring his dossier, bring his record. let me look at what they are saying, whether it's true. Because a lot of information about certain people is forged just to get them in trouble in Africa. So we have to be more professional in our outlook.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, so someone said the reason why they choose to trample down on opposition. Some gave examples vis-a-vis. You go to Libya. Libya was brought down to her knees because of opposition.
Yeah.
Opposition to Muammar Gaddafi. And of course, the man died in the process. If you go down to Tunisia, also don't forget about the Arab Spring. Opposition came up and pushed the government away, and right now Tunisia, they're still struggling to gain balance. If you go to Egypt,
Even Egypt,
yes, Egypt also, Al-Sisi had to, come into the scene. Why? Opposition rose up and said, look, Mubarak, what you are doing is wrong. We don't want you anymore. Even for Al-Sisi right now, though he's been accused of being turned into a dictator, he was able to stabilize Egypt.
Yes.
All because of opposition. They really needed for proper development of countries in Africa.
Well, again, we are back to square one. I told you that there's something fundamentally wrong with the black skin. Now, you are citing an example, you are taking us to Arab. You know the story of how Arab Spring began? You know how somebody went to the public school and got himself burnt? Just because he wanted things to change? That was the beginning of Arab Spring. And started spreading from there to other Arab countries. But did it come to the black part of Africa? It did not stop there with them. Because they know what they want, they know what they don't want. It stopped there with them.
Yeah.
It stopped there with them. Because somebody made sacrifice. He took his life for the good of the people. And everybody said, oh my God, this young man will go and take his life, then let's rise up against the government. That's how it all started.
Yeah.
Here in Benin today we worship what do you call that? The opposite the Oba market.
Is it all local or
this other one where you have a woman,
Okay, Queen
somebody.
Queen Amina.
Okay.
You know what he did?
Okay.
He made sacrifice.
Yes.
He killed himself for the good of the Oba.
Yes.
Today, are you talking about?
Today we are all worshiping her.
Yes.
She's now, everybody goes there to remove. In fact, the place there has been beatified. People go there to get healed when they are sick.
Yes,
And that is
spiritual power.
yes. So, Mr. Marshall, what I'm saying, opposition, how do we get them to wake up? Forget about who your boss was or who the president was. When it comes, for example, there are always abandoned projects in Africa.
Yeah.
That is because of the opposition. They don't believe in the government that is ruling. Again, we must know. It's not all the time that the opposition is right.
Okay.
It's not all the time. The majority can even do wrong. But if you know where you are going, where you are coming from, where you are going, remain steadfast. If you look at the opposition here in Nigeria, that will tell you where we are going in Africa. Because Nigeria is number one. Economically, in terms of population, land, everything, Nigeria is number one in Africa. Whether some people want to argue that, just argue, but they know it themselves. So, sir, opposition needs to be refined. We were talking of politicians who are not refined. For goodness, a lot of us are refined. But when there's no opportunity, you can't fight a war without a frontier. You must have the opportunity before you can fight. There are good people who are behind, who are no money. You are a professor.
Yes.
Come today and say you want to run for councillorship.
That's why I've been scared.
Nobody will. Nobody will give you the ticket because you don't have the way we talk. As a lecturer, where's the money?
Where's the money?
And because as a worker, you can't be rich.
No.
And if you are not rich, you can't go into politics.
No.
And so your ideas, I'm sorry to say, will die with you.
You are right.
That is the problem of opposition. Opposition is there to checkmate those who are in government. Take your pen and paper and put down all the mistakes of the government. So when you come out, you correct those mistakes. Like I said, when Africans come out, it's a payback time. We're talking of Gaddafi now. Now, Gaddafi could not have been defeated if foreign powers didn't come to support us. They could not have defeated him. Could have killed all the Libyans. So, sir, what we're going to do is to start enlightening our people. Let them know that opposition is not to go and fight the man who was there. By the time opposition comes in, the first thing we do in Africa, we take a whole year to probe. Who are you blaming? And you yourself, by the time you go, another one comes in, it takes another 1 year to probe. What are the results of the probing we have in Nigeria? What are the results of them? Have we seized houses? They fly throughout the world, fly first class until they die. There are so many people. There was a governor in the eastern Nigeria, I think it's Obi.
Yes.
I met him in the aircraft always. He carries his briefcase by himself. Nobody helps him to carry
Second class.
There was an economy like all of us. He doesn't go to first class. But your colleagues now, your own colleagues, your age group, if there's no first class in the aircraft, they won't travel. If there's no person that will go, okay, call that will carry the phone, somebody will carry the phone, somebody will carry the briefcase. He will go, they want to be in economy, he will be in first class. For goodness sake, we are going to come down at the same time. You see, this is the problem. The black man must realign his own self. He must wake up and say, this world, there's nothing in it. It's vanity upon vanity. It's all vanity. Let me help my people. That's what we want. We want a very strong opposition. Without a strong opposition, Macho, the government cannot do well. I can assure you. They'll be so complacent, they won't move until you tell them, look, what you are doing is wrong. If I come to power, I will not do that. That's where they will wake up ponderously. The moment they will wake up and say, ponderously they will wake up and begin to see what they can do. It's a problem. It's a very big problem.
All right. Now, for what he said, for the government to do well, there should be a vibrant opposition.
Yes.
And he also said, yes. And he also said, opposition that is not a must or last, it's not 100% guarantee that when they become the leader of a particular country, it's not a guarantee that they will do well because of, the revenge mission, probing upon probing. Now, if you take a look at the West African axis, you get to hear about coup.
Okay.
Coup d'etat. You get to hear this country overthrowing the president, this taking out the president, and right now in Burkina Faso, so to speak, an interim government have been formed. Mali also, they have their own share. Do you think that the reason why this coup is like ongoing is because opposition in that country, they've been, suppressed or silenced totally, Prof?
Well, it's most unfortunate that we are still hearing anything to do with coup. I think that is analog politics. I think we're digital politics.
But the citizens are happy about it.
Yes,
they came out jubilating that's what they want.
Who are those jubilating? Relations of those who benefit from the coup. So let's leave that side.
It was massive.
So let's leave that side.
The demonstration was massive.
Yes. Coming to look at why I'm seriously against coup in this modern world is not the best, because like 10 steps backwards, politically, it's not the best. And any country that is striving coup in these modern times, you get a lot of sanctions from advanced nations, because no country is an island of its own these days. You can't tell the civilized world that you came to power through coup. You won't gain that international respect. So it's no longer the empty. It used to be those days, but the situation has drastically changed. See the sympathy Ukrainians are getting all over the world. Even FIFA, the sports have come in, all countries, they are banning one thing or the other and all that against Putin of Russia. So coming back to opposition is a beautiful thing. Yes. It's a beautiful thing. Otherwise, the party in power will not sit up. The leaders will not sit up if there's no opposition. So opposition is a beautiful thing. Is something that, in fact, is one of the beauty of democracy. One beauty is like, say, in a country that one person is selling a product and there's no competition from other people. The person will cut the throat of the consumers. So opposition is good, but we are saying, what is the quality of opposition? I think that's the issue before. What is the quality of opposition? So that's why I'm also saying that politicians that are well groomed, right from the fundamental to the more mature stage where that politician will be ripe for competitive office. The quality of opposition, you see, that will be different. You see in the U.S., Britain, and the rest of them, you see quality of opposition, the parliament. in the House of Senate and all. You see, people just take joy in doing it, and there's no season of is it the mace or banging of this, banging of this, and throwing blows. I see people in the ring, boxing ring. Yeah. You don't experience. People see it as normal, as expected. You saw the war between Biden and the former president, Trump. It was taken easy. Because of the strong institution in the U.S., they took things easy. When it was a month to Biden taking over office, the security came. The Air Force, the SS, they all came, CIA, they all came, and they were all over the new president. And by that, they are sending the signal to Trump that, hey,
your time is up.
Your time is up. Oh. So and other institutions, they took over the various positions they're supposed to take, and they were not taking orders already from the new president. Indirect way of telling to him, hey, your time is up. So that is the quality of opposition we are talking about. But if you come down here, is it because of the quality of politicians? I'm not saying that some politicians, we don't have quality politicians. We have in Nigeria. In fact, the gentleman that's sitting, Amigo that's sitting, is a quality politician. But what I said earlier, the quality politicians will be in the center of the ring. Then all these, all these problem people, touts, they will surround you and say, hey, don't forget we help you to win this election. Sure. So you see that you cooperate.
But somebody who removed the maize was compensated. Hold
on, we don't want to go there. We don't want to go there.
So these are the issues, my brother.
No, let's drive it home to Nigeria, because almost decent. Exactly. Let's go to Nigeria. Now, for what is really happening in the country, can one deduce that opposition in this country is not vibrant, is not effective?
Well, as for me, what I've learned from this discussion is that opposition is very important.
Yes.
In all spheres of government, from the national to the local. Why? If governments can listen to the opposition, pick points what the opposition is saying, they can utilize it to implement their policies.
Yes.
Correct.
So I think that is what is most important. Listen to them. Even if they are shouting, they are threatening you with they are going to bring guns, they are going to bring knives. Listen to their points and use it as a point of reference. They should look at opposition as special advisors.
Special advisors?
Oh my God.
Look at them as special advisors because they are coming out with the truth. They don't care. So for me, opposition is very, very important.
So look at them as special advisors. Now, driving it home right now.
No, I'm told.
Yes.
Or we are told when just into politics newly, that if the government is doing very well, and you have no way to condemn the government, come out and say you will air condition all the streets. And people will buy it. And you begin to support you, unfortunately. So don't worry, all these your streets, I would like them, I will air condition the streets. And remove the air made by God. And people will listen. That is the problem of government. That's what we say. Opposition ought to be advisors to the government.
Special advisors pick on their points.
You have them in Britain. You have Secretary of State. You have another Secretary of State within the opposition. So who is just there to monitor whatever you do and report to the government? I don't know, Marshall. Oh yeah, go on.
In Nigeria, do we have an effective opposition? From what is really going on, the economy, security, you just name it. Is anyone really talking?
Yes, I think so. Initially.
And if they are talking, how effective
are the talks? Yes, we can cite some few examples. Initially, if you look at Boko Haram thing, initially government was not really forceful, but recently, government, because of the opposition everywhere, people are dying, and the government had no choice than to go and acquire some aircraft, some jets from the U.S., and they've now started formally fighting the bandits, fighting Boko Haram.
About 72%.
Yes, it has been reduced. It has been reduced now.
Yeah.
You know, that's the honest truth. It has been reduced. Then if you look at the real thing that the previous government started, which the opposition were also criticizing, but now the real thing has come up. You know, we now have rail stations, you know, in some states of the federation. People have started enjoying it. Fine, you know, but beyond that, the economy is still a problem. They've not been able to handle the economy. You see, and if you look at it from a real genuine perspective, who are those running the economy? This is the thing. Are they political people who are, you know, political patronage? You know, otherwise we have financial experts who are not just here, abroad and all that. Like Ngozi Iweala, we still remember the case. She was recruited from World Bank and all that. And we saw the difference, you know. So I think government should leave this sentiment of opposition, who is in our party, who is not in our party. Bring people who can perform. Because what we are saying is Nigerian project, not PDP project, not APC project, not Afghan project, but the Nigerian project. You know, that sentiment of Nigeria will propel genuine politicians, you know, to really put the real people, technocrats, into position so that the Nigerian project can succeed.
Okay,
yes.
You talked about making them special assistants. From what you can see right now in this country, are they really special assistants? Are they taking us or what you recommended?
What I'm looking at is the way forward. When I say special advisors.
Advisors, thank you, yes.
Whatever they say, government should scrutinize it. If it's good, they should take it. If it's bad, they should not take it. So just special advisors, they don't need to be paid. Listen to them. And I think they will get more. For example, this fuel issue. I don't know where the opposition is. I'm not hearing anything about anybody talking about it. NLC, it's as if they are just speaking grammar. At the end of the day, people are just doing what they like. So let us see, I don't know, let us see all these opposition as advisors, special advisors,
but there is
who are not on the government payroll.
But you're saying that right now you just can't see it.
I can't see it because the result is not there. You can see it in some places. You can see it in Edo State, for example. I'm not trying to praise the government. Yeah. But a lot of my father's projects, you can see him resurrecting those projects.
That's true.
Those secretariats and many other projects.
Stadium.
So for me, outside of Edo State, I've not been outside to see much, but I will talk about my own. Charity begins at home.
All right. Now he said opposition right now, we talk about fear, talk about economy, he has not seen it, except for this enclave in Nigeria.
The opposition are not ready to work because nobody will give their salary. Everything we do in this country ends with, what do I get from it? They know. They can't even go to your station here and say, please, let the government know this is what we feel about this project. They cannot pay the 100,000 you will require. And so the ideas will just die with them. In very many developed countries, I tell you, universities, with great respect to my prophet, universities are places where governments go to think of any project, to think of any idea. Universities are paid, even paid heavily, rather than getting a lawyer to come out and doing the work of an engineer. You don't put a square peg on a square hole, and so they will fail. Like it's a personality problem.
Yes.
Or he assisted me when I wanted to contest. I have to compensate. Compensate you with what? Take your family yourself. Beg God and say thank you. What say thank you, but whatever. It's not taking the business of government to compensate somebody. A carpenter cannot do tailoring. But that's what we do in Nigeria. Say put him there. Put him there, he will do the job. And you are seeing it. And that's why the results are not coming out. But universities are there. The poor people go on strike from time to time because they are not being paid their salaries. Yes, you too will do exactly that. I will do exactly that. But now, You are not empowering the university lecturers who have gone out to read. Go and need I need a project like this. How can you help me? Universities, university, they are making palm wine, making some other type of juice. Because they have time to go to the laboratory and give it. At one time here in Nigeria, University of Benin was giving us the best water.
It's true, yes.
But today they have killed that. We don't know why. See, this is the problem of opposition. Opposition should remind them, why do this? But again, how would the opposition come out? So that the only thing that's helping us is this social media. But how many can read? How many people do read?
You read.
So you can go open it and read. The other they are looking for games. They want to play games. They are not looking for places where there are news to be read. So my problem is the opposition is there, but they're not very effective because they don't have the wherewithal to be effective.
Take it up from there, Prof. They don't have the wherewithal to be effective. No financial backing, no salary attached to it, nothing to gain right now in quote. It's just something like sacrificial. Is that the reason why they're like not effective the way ought to?
Yes, to add to what he has said, they're not effective because one, the judiciary is a problem. The law enforcement agents are a problem because we've experienced situations in this country whereby opposition would genuinely say something that is not right, that the government need to sit up. The next thing, say EFCC find something against him. That will cook up one story from nowhere.
Yes.
First of all, they will even do their homework, their research properly. First thing is to arrest, so that then they will invite media. Media houses, I'm not saying ITV. They invite media houses. Those ones will come being the
like a media trial.
Yes, trial. Trial before trial and all that. And that is why at the end of the day, EFCC was losing most of their cases. Are you aware? They were losing most of their cases because they were politically motivated. It's like this man is talking about going, why? The next thing, there was a pressman, you are aware now, who was put in jail for almost 2 years. Yes. You are aware, somebody Cross River State or something, right? Because he told the governor that he's not performing. And some funds that were made available, to take care of the people, why did they divide the fund? And that's all. It was put in head. And security, and everybody was shouting, activists, social media. The governor just pretended he doesn't know what is going on. He said it's because of his problem and all that. So the idea is they make some people a scapegoat, to shut up every other opposition. So, and that is what is happening in most African countries. And Nigeria is part of, if Nigeria doesn't even have the lion's share. So that is the problem. I still remember somebody wrote a verse concerning the president and the next thing.
The rising sun.
Yeah, rising sun. From nowhere, over busy security people just got him arrested, Yes, that thing. Yes.
Okay, all right. Now, don't be that opposition, they've been muzzled in most African countries. They gave strong examples right now that opposition, if they talk somehow too much, drop up charges will be raised against them. Is that what they are afraid to come up?
Yes.
In some countries.
Yes.
Like I said, Idi Amin said, you have the freedom of speech.
But it's not
Freedom after
guaranteed.
speech is not guaranteed.
I think we can leave it at that.
That's it.
Interesting. We'll call it a wrap right now on this show. Let's take a look at the way forward of effective opposition, because right now as it stands, Gold Tropican countries, it's like we are having fewer voices opposing the government. Hence, things are getting from bad to worse. Honorable, let me start with you. What do we do?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I don't know how we're going to, but that is not to say that there won't be a way. Whenever there's a way, wherever situation we are, we must find a way out. The way out is to also sit back. That's why we want to congratulate the NAS now. The National Assembly, yes, for what they are doing now. They are suddenly waking up to their responsibility.
Because of strong opposition.
We thank them. But they should go on. They have not ended everything.
No.
There are still some areas they have to go into. They should not be afraid of anybody. Let them go. So that you bring the problem back to the courts. If the laws have been made, and the courts are there to interpret the laws. So institutions, he said, my younger brother said, institutions, we need to build strong institutions. If you say something as a journalist, and your wings are clipped for no reason, people should be able to come out and say, you can't.
Exactly.
You can't do that to Obasanjo. What has he done? And then they'll be worried. If everybody is rising up against them, they will be worried. And quickly release this. I'm sorry. I didn't ask the police to do so.
I was misquoted.
I was misquoted.
Yeah.
So that's the situation.
Okay.
We all must wake up. All of us, not only those in government, all of us, we must have the courage to say this is wrong. Ukrainians are saying, don't invade us, this is wrong. We stand behind Zelensky, our president. This is wrong. We don't have the power to fight it, but don't fight our president. This is our country.
All right. Everybody should wake up.
Yes, wake up and love this country.
Thank you so much. Well, Prof, over to you. The way forward.
Well, opposition is a very good thing in any genuinely developing nations, and Nigeria is not an exception. So the quality of opposition is a major factor that has to be considered. Those who will make the quality of opposition very, very interesting are quality politicians. According to those in the computer world, garbage in, garbage out. So if the quality of politics is poor, stinks, and you also have politicians that are not of quality, the quality of opposition will also be poor. They'll be using all sorts of characters, police, security agents to harass opposition people.
So, thank you so much. Samuel, sir, over to you.
Yeah, for me, opposition should be looked at as special advisors. And if there's a way they can do the constitution to have some kind of funds, welfare for the opposition.
Will you want to give money to someone that will oppose you? Would you want to do that?
What I'm trying to say is that you want the truth.
Yes.
In some governments, when they appoint their cabinet, they put opposition members there.
Exactly.
So that they get the truth.
The truth.
If you put all your party members there, you cannot always get the truth.
All right.
And I want to add, Wednesday is a special day for Bender Midwest region.
Anyway.
Because my father passed on, let me just add this, on the 9th, which is on Wednesday, we're having a service
of song.
United Baptist Mission Road.
Anyway, thank you. You just can't pay for that. So I wouldn't want to continue. No, we want to continue with that, but noted, okay? That is highly commercial. I love my salary, please. I love my salary, okay?
That's right.
Well, you've heard them. Effective opposition. How effective are the opposition parties right now in Africa? So many countries, South Africa, Egypt, Libya, Ghana, even here in Nigeria. Remember Bobby Wine, that we have a free man that has been set free. We have so many examples. The question now is, in Africa, are the opposition, are they gradually being taken out of the equation? If the answer is yes, what is the hope for Africa politically? If it's no, how come they are where they are? The question is left for us to answer. See you tomorrow, God willing, on International Forum. Bye for now.